Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We're at the Firehouse in North Manchester, Indiana with Good Night with Christopher Blue. Now here's your host, Christopher Blue.
Hello and welcome to Good Night with Christopher Blue. I'm Christopher Blue, and it is Tuesday night, superhero night, which means I need my superhero co-host, Reverb. I like all the gear you're wearing. Sorry, bud. I forgot you needed a table. Anyway, so Reverb, this might be the first time some people are seeing you. This might be the first video people are seeing. Explain to people what a real-life superhero is.
Well, we're people that can hold a mic. We're people that just usually make our own personas and our own gear and uniforms and head out just to do good deeds, whether it's a homeless outreach, something as simple as helping someone cross the street or push a dead car, or assisting in a crime prevention, neighborhood watch type thing.
Yeah, we're just good citizens who happen to be wearing different clothing. If you want to learn more about real-life superhero episodes that we've done in the past, click the card to get a playlist of our previous episodes. Today we are going to be talking about how we carry our gear. We've talked about gear in the past and what we carry with us, but there are many ways in which you can carry it with you, many ways in which you have actually carried it with you over the years. So let's focus more on you and talk about the different ways that you have carried gear in the past.
All right, well, I kind of started this when I was about 11. Wow! And I didn't have access to anything, so I carried everything in my pockets.
Right.
But when I moved up and decided to put more effort into it, I had moved on to actually using a police-issued utility belt.
Utility belts are very common in our line of work. Batman in the comic books made the utility belt famous, and but they are very useful for a real-life superhero in carrying different items such as pepper spray, flashlights, business cards, even. So utility belts are very useful.
Absolutely. Something they don't show you in the movies or the comics or the cartoons. You have to adjust your belt a lot.
Yes, you do. Your weight is constantly changing, and sometimes even the size adjustments on the belts are not the best. So if you have a utility belt, you are constantly struggling with it, fidgeting with it.
They don't show you Batman hopping into his car and then moving back and forth and wiggling and moving the belt so it's not. He doesn't have a batarang stabbing his side or something digging into his ribs.
That's right. And kind of on the same note, they don't show Batman fidgeting with the pockets on his utility belt. That's something that we've dealt with definitely in the past when getting supplies. And, of course, Batman being an awesome superhero, he never has to do that. I thought you were going to say something else. Okay, so besides belts, which, again, I think that's where most people's minds would go to when they think of carrying gear. Probably, actually, I'm going to save it for last, but probably my favorite way I've seen you carry your gear. We will save that one for last. So let's move on to like a cargo vest or cargo pants. Again, lots of pockets.
Yes.
If you're self-conscious or maybe don't want to wear a bulky belt, it's a great way to quickly grab stuff you need.
Yeah, I have a cargo vest of my own that I wear in my civvy life. It's
Counting the pockets in your mind.
15 pockets.
That's a lot of pockets.
It is generally my go-to vest for, or maybe not my go-to vest for when I go to the movies.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's got lots of uses. Maybe you're seeing a really sad movie and you gotta bring a whole bunch of tissues in those pockets.
Right, yeah.
I wish I was wearing that.
Hypothetically,
in Endgame.
if you were using this vest to, I don't know, sneak snacks into the movie theater, hypothetically, which pocket would you say is your extra butter pocket? That's what I want to know.
I'm gonna say the back pocket. Hypothetically, because it's a big pocket, and when they're looking at you walking in, if they're the people that check you or anything, they're just giving you a quick once-over of your front. And they're all like, oh, no, they're not carrying anything, whatever. You walk past them and suddenly it's over.
Man, that was very, thought out for a quick hypothetical scenario. Interesting.
I do that a lot. Ask me another hypothetical
No,
question.
you know what? Let's just move on. So, utility belts, cargo vest, cargo pants. What's another interesting or useful way to carry gear?
I've seen, I think, at least one person in the community. They had the kind of strap across their back and their chest, and it had little, I think it was meant for hunters, and they carry the shotgun shells in it. Mm-hmm. And they would carry items in that, first aid kits and pepper spray, walkie-talkies, cuffs.
Yeah.
So that's definitely something that you can look into.
For sure. Another one that I can think of that I believe you've done is the good old leg strap. Pouches that you just strap to your legs.
Yep. I've only got one of those now. I had two, and they had ammo carriers, two ammo carrying pouches. So a total of 4 on each one.
Okay.
And when I decided to go with something else, I snipped it and just added it to the other one. So it's I think I took one of them off. So it's a total of 6 pockets on one leg.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good, simple way to carry gear. Before we move on to the last one, I gotta ask, you do have something clipped to your mask there. What's that about?
This is actually a newly added thing.
Oh. What? Very nice. Yeah.
So if we're going somewhere like a dirt pit, possibly under a parking garage, we have our hands full. We don't know if we're just handing out bags or if maybe someone's a little scared and they attack us. I have this I can click this, and I can either carry pepper spray in one, but I can carry the bags in both hands, or bags in one hand and pepper spray in the other. So it gives me a flashlight with still having 2 hands.
Yeah. Which I guess I didn't even mean to think about this, but we did. Like, on your head is a good way to carry some gear. I know I had a headlamp for quite a while. Yeah, very, very valid way to carry gear. A back strap. I know you actually, I think you still wear a back strap, don't you? Or did you retire it?
Back strap, like a whole thing.
You had some sort of thing that you used to carry.
So I changed how I carry some gear. Mm-hmm. And it didn't quite give me space for handcuffs. Mm-hmm. And so I decided to go with zip cuffs. And a lot of my uniform is already based on kind of a mix of Nightwing and Green Arrow.
Mm-hmm.
And so I figured, well, I'm gonna put some color on my back so I don't have just black and blue up front and just black and back. And I figured, well, if I'm adding color to the back, I might as well add, something for gear on it. And I was actually carrying my batons on my back for a little bit, but now I actually have this on my belt to carry them.
Okay.
I can carry one on top, one on bottom.
But having a back strap is a good way to carry some gear.
That's a quiver type thing. I could just pull a zip cuff out either for a citizen's arrest or if we need help holding something together or bundling something.
Yep. And now for probably my favorite way that you've carried gear, and unfortunately you've retired it, but it was the coolest thing. You used to carry gear in gauntlets.
Yes.
And you had like pouches on your gauntlets, and everything you needed was just right there. And I'm not sure why you retired it, but in fact, yeah, why did you retire those?
Oh, my first intention was I'd go to a friend's house on occasion, and I did want something smaller to carry, so I wouldn't have to carry my entire belt over to his place, because it was in a kind of a rough neighborhood. And there was more than one time where we were just hanging out, and I'd hear something down the road, and I didn't have time to just grab my belt and click everything on, so I just had gear in that. But I've learned along the way, like, there's more gear that I want to carry, and unfortunately not everything can be micro-sized. So I did eventually go back to a belt.
Well, I still think they were the coolest things, and I kind of wish we had them back. In fact, hopefully we've put a picture of those gauntlets on the screen for you guys to see, because they were just awesome. Reverb, is there anything else you would like to add or talk about for this episode?
I'll just add that because you're picking one way to carry your gear, you don't have to stick with it. Example, this kind of belt is actually it was actually my first choice of belt, but everything I was looking at was I was reading the reviews and comments and stuff, and the pockets were just way too small for what I had to carry. So I went with a regular sized police belt, and then that was when after a while I got tired of the readjusting and trying to figure everything out for pouches, and that was when I went with the gauntlets. But doing the gauntlets meant I had to micro-size everything. I had pepper spray, personal siren, handcuffs, flashlight, compass, and I want to say something else. An entire police belt just on my arm. But they weren't exactly just holding everything I needed, and then I was always constantly having to find a way to fix the straps. And I decided I was going to look for a belt again, and the first belt didn't work because of all the gear was too big. Going to this made me micro-size. Going to my gauntlets made me micro-size everything. And I was looking at this, and I was like, well, I just micro-sized all my gear, so it's all fitting into this belt
So the
now.
smaller pockets worked, yeah. Well, that's awesome. Always changing, always adapting, and that's definitely how you should be when you're in this line of work. Well, thank you again, Reverb, for coming on the show. Buy a Reverb or Weaver shirt at the merch store. Link is in the description. That's our show. Thank you guys so much for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. And don't forget to ring that bell so you get notified when we upload new content. Until next time, good night, my sweet baby angels. I'll see you tomorrow.